few minutes, Sixers team officials have confirmed that guard Tyrese Maxey's home caught fire tonight.
The day was amazing. We were kind of just jumping around and playing and listening to Christmas music. And Tyrese is outside and he's noticing like that entire part of the house is actually in flames.
The eve of Christmas 2021, the Maxey family's house burns down after an unknown fire breaks out inside. Tyrese Maxey, almost always wearing a grin from ear to ear, was far from his usual self as he worked to move his family to safety. What was supposed to be a relaxing day to enjoy with his loved ones quickly became one of the scariest moments of his life. But nonetheless, it was just another hurdle in the young star's career. All his family members were evacuated to safety and thankfully no one was hurt. Maxey even suited up the day after Christmas to help lead the Sixers to a win over Washington, showing his mental toughness to bounce back and overcome challenges. Maxey has always had the will to power through tough times. In 6th grade, Maxey won a national championship with his AAU team. In the lead up to that title game, Tyrese broke his pinky finger in the city championship game, and instead of sitting out the national matchup, he chose to compete the game by dribbling with his offhand for the entire time, ultimately leading his team to victory. Heading into high school, Maxey was still that guy, averaging nearly 23 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals in his sophomore year. The next season, the young phenom made his first ever Texas State basketball tournament appearance and dropped 46 points during an overtime loss in the semifinals. Tyrese Maxey actually contemplated leaving high school early after the 2018 season in order to enter the NBA sooner, but chose to finish his 4-year South Garland high school career to become a McDonald's All-American, which is exactly what he did. In addition to these honors, Maxey graduated at the top of his class and was crowned Texas Mr. Basketball, firmly solidifying him as a 5-star prospect in the eyes of recruiters, leading to him being snapped up by Kentucky. Playing the day after his 19th birthday, Maxey came off the bench to make his freshman debut at Madison Square Garden, one of the most notorious arenas in the world. How did he go? Well, he scored 26 points to hold a new school record for a freshman debut. The Texas prodigy led Kentucky to clinch the SEC regular season championship, meaning they were able to enter the SEC men's basketball tournament as the #1 seed. Sadly though, 2 weeks later, all tournaments and college leagues had to be canceled thanks to the emergence of the COVID-19 pandemic, bringing a premature end to Maxey's college campaign. Crazy to think that the pandemic was already roughly 3 years ago. What a terrible time for sports. When the Sixers took Maxey with pick 21, they got an absolute steal considering he was touted to be a lottery pick. And just to put it into perspective, here are the names that were taken before him: James Wiseman, Patrick Williams, Isaac Okoro, Killian Hayes, Obi Toppin, Kira Lewis Jr., and Jalen Smith, just to name a few. Obviously, hindsight can be a killer for GMs who might lose sleep over what could have been. But not Sixers GM Daryl Morey. He will sleep very, very comfortably over that decision. However, he wouldn't have slept well at the start of the season. Remember the whole James Harden drama? James Harden basically just defecating on the organization and his GM in front of the whole entire world.
Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of.
Look at the positive in the situation though. The departure of Harden made way for Tyrese Maxey to flourish. I mean, he was already going to reach stardom, but this accelerated his growth for sure. Now the main distributor on the Sixers team and the best guard on the rosters, the Sixers phenom had an abundance of opportunity to take the leap, and that's exactly what he did. He's averaging career highs in points, assists, rebounds, and steals so far, and only looks like he's getting better to be honest. And he's getting acknowledged for it too, being rightfully named an All-Star for the first time. Maxey's upbeat, positive demeanor is what sets him apart from the rest. A breath of fresh air for a Philly team that's been riddled with bad attitudes and locker room villains. They've had to deal with Ben Simmons, James Harden, and even that whole Jimmy Butler saga. So the vibrancy this kid brings to the team can only be positive for the future of the roster. The kid obviously cares about his teammates too. When Kelly Oubre was out after getting hit by a car, Maxey showed love after the Sixers win.
Man, this had nothing to do with me. This is all Kelly Oubre, man. You know, we praying for him, man. I love my dog, man. I just met him, but I love him.
Becoming an all-star shows that now he's right up there with the elite in the league, kicking it with the big dogs of the NBA. In fact, Maxey is doing something quite special. In a team hoarding quite a lot of injuries, most notably the recent loss of Joel Embiid, the Sixers guard has taken on quite a huge workload. He averages more touches per game than players like Donovan Mitchell and Giannis, all while averaging around 2 turnovers a game. He even leads the league in minutes, basically playing the entire game for Philadelphia. With such an increased workload from his previous season, you would expect there to be a bit of adjusting and maybe even some issues with injuries. But nope, Maxey's taken it all in stride and shoulders the bulk of the playmaking duties for a team that is severely depleted. Maxey's secret weapon is his sheer speed and shiftiness. On a fast break, there are not many players who can keep up with him, allowing free reign from the inside if given the chance. Not to mention his work off the screen. Will he drive right? Will he hesitate and step back for 3? He's so swift that defenders don't get the opportunity to set themselves up properly, giving Maxey the upper hand on the attack. Offensively, Maxey has exploded this season, rightfully earning him that all-star spot. Right after he was named for the first time, in fact, he celebrated by dropping 51 points on the Utah Jazz.
It's been a great night. I mean, it's been wonderful.
But arguably, the greatest moment of his young career to date was neither the All-Star selection or the 50 bomb, but rather being selected to be on the front cover of Slam magazine. The crew at Slam surprised the All-Star with the big news just recently. That's tough. Slam magazine is a coveted article amongst the basketball community, so making it onto the cover of an issue is quite a big deal. Every player that's reached a level of stardom within the league has gotten on the front page at some point in their careers. Maxey joins them in only his 4th year in the league. Tyrese Maxey is without question one of the best young players in the modern era. His combination of speed, skill, and team-first mentality is pushing this young man in the right direction. As we've seen, it hasn't always been smooth sailing for the Kentucky prodigy. From his house burning down to COVID cutting his college career short, Maxey has faced his fair share of adversity. That adversity only adds to the character. The smiling assassin takes it all in stride. He'll grin in the opponent's face, step back, and drain it from deep. At only 23 years old, Tyrese Maxey's future is incredibly bright, and I can't wait to see the improvements again next season. But for now, he focuses on the immediate issue of taking Philadelphia to the playoffs, a task made substantially harder now that Embiid is out for an extended period of time. Can the first-time All-Star motivate his teammates to step up their games? If you like keeping up with basketball's young stars, then you'll love what we have in store for you. Join us next time as we look at another up-and-coming NBA Wonder Kid.